Have you ever noticed this? Some people don't need to talk much. They don't shout. They don't try to prove anything. But the moment they speak, everyone else naturally lowers their voice. And you, the more you explain, the more you hold back, the more you try to let it go, the more the other person feels free to push even further. Today, I'm going to give you one sentence. Just one. Say it at the right moment, and a disrespectful person will go quiet. Here's what most people get wrong. This sentence is not about sounding polite. It's not some long moral speech either. It's one line that makes the other person stop because they suddenly realize, oh, this person has boundaries. You don't need to win an argument. You only need to make one thing clear. If they keep acting like that, the conversation is over. Why am I so sure this works? Because I used to be exactly where you are. Back then, I was the kind of person who would laugh things off no matter what. At work, people would interrupt me, make sarcastic comments, or say things like, just be quiet and get to the point. And outside of work, if someone spoke to me in a harsh, disrespectful way, I still tried to explain myself, hoping they would understand. But the more I explained, the weaker I felt. Not weak because I was scared, weak because I was sending them this message. Go ahead, you can keep doing this, I'll take it. I remember one meeting very clearly. I was speaking, and someone cut me off right in front of everyone. Come on, why are you even talking? You don't know anything. I got emotional, I argued back, I tried to prove my point, and the result, the more I talked, the quieter the room became. But not because they respected me, it was because they were watching me like someone who had lost control. That day, I learned something simple. If you want disrespectful people to stop pushing you, you don't need to sound smarter. You need to stop at the right moment and say one sentence. So in this video, I'll give you the exact closing sentence to use, but for it to actually work, you need to use it in 5 steps, from light to firm. And I'll show you 3 common situations where this comes up all the time: at work, with friends, and with family or a partner. By the end of this video, you'll understand why one sentence can make someone go silent. Before we get into the 5 steps, you need to understand one thing. Respect does not come from speaking louder. Speaking louder makes you look like you're losing control. Respect also doesn't come from acting tough or forcing your voice to sound firm. The more you try to look strong, the more people can feel you're trying to prove something. What actually makes people step back is this. You have clear boundaries. You know what's acceptable and what's not. And when they cross that line, you stop right there. You don't drag it out. That's why one sentence can change everything. Not because it sounds impressive, but because the person saying it is willing to follow through. I've used this many times with coworkers, friends, and even strangers, and I noticed one pattern. People keep going as long as they feel you're still allowing it. But when you stay calm, say the right sentence, and you're truly ready to end the conversation, they pause. All right, let's get into the 5 steps. And the closing sentence. Step 1, pause for 2 seconds. When someone says something disrespectful, your instinct is to respond immediately. You want to explain, push back, and prove you're right. But answering too quickly gives them control over the pace. So do this instead. Stay silent for about 2 seconds. Look at them directly. Calm face. No forced smile. No rushing. Just 2 seconds. It sends a clear signal. I heard you, and I'm not getting pulled into this. Step 2, name exactly what is happening. A lot of people say, that hurts my feelings, or you're making me uncomfortable. The problem is, those lines are easy to twist. They'll say, you're too sensitive, or relax, I was just joking. So instead, point to the behavior, short and clear. The way you're speaking right now is disrespectful. That's it, no long explanation. Because when you name the behavior clearly, you reset the rules. This conversation has to be respectful. If not, it stops. Step 3, say the closing sentence. Say it slowly. Keep your voice low. Stay calm. Prito. If you continue speaking to me that way, this conversation ends here. That's it. Then stop. Don't explain why. Don't give a long reason. Because the more you talk, the more you open the door for them to argue. This works because it makes 2 things clear. You recognize their behavior isn't okay, and you will take action if it continues. Right after you say it, most people do one of 2 things. They lower their tone, or they try to escape with a comeback. That's where step 4 comes in. Step 4, don't argue, answer once, then return to the boundary. If they say, I was just joking, you say, maybe you see it as a joke, but I don't accept being spoken to that way. If they say, you're too sensitive, you say, no, I'm just clear about my boundaries. If they say, don't make a big deal out of it, you say, I'm simply being clear about what I accept. If they say, what about you? You say, we can talk when we respect each other. If not, I'm stopping here. Key rule, don't over-explain, don't attack them back. Don't get pulled into the argument. One short sentence, then step 5. Step 5, follow through. This is the step that decides everything. If you do steps 1 to 4, but skip step 5, everything becomes empty words. If you said, this conversation ends here, you have to be willing to actually end it. Face to face, stop talking, stand up or move on. Texting, stop replying, or close it once and stop. In a meeting, stay calm, keep it short, and return to the issue. You don't need to show off your strength. You just need to be consistent, because people who cross boundaries will test you again, just to see if you're serious. But once you follow through, even one time, they understand this person means what they say. Now let's make this real with examples. Situation A, at work, someone cuts in, stop talking. You don't know anything. You pause for 2 seconds. You say, the way you're speaking right now is disrespectful. Then you say, if you continue speaking to me that way, this conversation ends here. If they try, I was just joking, you reply, maybe you see it as a joke, but I don't accept being spoken to that way. If they keep pushing, return to work. I'm going to focus on the main point. I'm not continuing with personal comments. Situation B, friends who take a joke too far. Someone puts you down, then laughs. I was just joking. Don't laugh along. Pause, then say, maybe you see it as a joke, but I don't accept being spoken to that way. If they repeat it, close it. If you continue, I'm stopping here. And if they keep going, leave. You don't need to be angry. You just need to leave. Situation C, family or a partner speaks in a controlling way. You're always wrong. You can't do anything right. Pause, then say, the way you're speaking right now is disrespectful. Then say, if you continue speaking to me that way, I'm ending this conversation here. If they want to keep talking, make the condition clear. I'm willing to talk, but we have to speak to each other with respect. And if they don't stop, you stop, pause the conversation, walk away, or end the call. Do you see it? Work, friends, family, the formula stays the same. Stay calm, keep it short, set the boundary, follow through. Now here's the most important part. Real respect comes from within, not from one perfect sentence. Because the sentence itself isn't what makes people change. What makes people change is the energy you carry when you say it. If you say the words, but deep down you're still afraid of upsetting them, afraid they'll dislike you, still hoping they'll approve of you, they will feel it, and they'll keep crossing the line. But when you truly believe one simple thing, I deserve to be treated with respect, everything changes. And respect does not come from speaking beautifully. It does not come from speaking loudly. It does not come from speaking a lot. Respect comes from respecting yourself first and being willing to show it through your actions. If you want to try this today, here's what I want you to do. Pick one situation you deal with most. Just one. Use the 5 steps once this week, especially step 5, and watch what happens. Because the first time you follow through, that's the moment people start treating you differently.